I was just like any other woman, married to the love of my life for 20 years. We met in college, our bond grew strong, and we even came from the same city, so it felt like fate. Our marriage wasn't perfect, but whose is? We had our ups and downs, but we managed. After all, we were financially stable, living a comfortable life. But last year, everything changed. It started subtly. My husband, the man I built a life with, began distancing himself. He became colder, quieter. At first, I thought it was just stress from work or maybe something temporary. But then, the silence turned into indifference. He stopped touching me, stopped being affectionate, and soon enough, the emotional distance was unbearable. I couldn't ignore it anymore. One night, after weeks of feeling utterly rejected, he finally confessed something that shocked me to my core. He told me he no longer found me attractive. He said he couldn't even get turned on by me anymore. He claimed that I had let myself go, that I had gained weight and looked ugly in his eyes. It felt like a slap in the face. All the years we had together, and this was how he saw me now. It crushed me, but that wasn't all. He said he didn't want to destroy the family, but he needed something more. He wanted to sleep with other women. Outside our marriage. He said he wouldn't be a hypocrite and that I was free to do the same. I begged him to reconsider. I cried for days, thinking he'd come back to his senses. But he didn't. He was resolute. And after days of internal turmoil, I made a decision. I agreed. I agreed to his terms. If he wanted to sleep around, so be it. I would take care of myself, find my own way to feel good again. I started working out, pushing myself to get my body back in shape. And to my surprise, the men at the gym noticed. One after another, they flirted, complimented me, and I began to feel desired again, something I hadn't felt in years. Eventually, I had a few encounters, just casual things. But then I met someone, a man who actually treated me with kindness and respect, who made me feel valued in ways my husband never did. Meanwhile, my husband's attempts at finding other women didn't go as smoothly as he thought. He's tall, handsome, and charming, or so he thinks. He believed his money and status would be enough to win over any woman. But he quickly learned that women today aren't looking for just that, they want more. They want connection, respect, not just a wallet. His attempts were few and far between, and none of the women he'd been with wanted to see him again. The irony wasn't lost on me. While I was out enjoying myself, finding affection and excitement, my husband was sulking, growing bitter. One night, I went out on a date with my new man while the kids stayed with my parents. When I came home, my husband was livid. He told me I had no right to go out, that I was breaking the family apart. I couldn't help but laugh. This was the arrangement he wanted, wasn't it? He set the terms, and I was just following through. His pride couldn't handle it. He thought I would break down, that I would beg him to stay, but I didn't. I was finally free. Then, the ultimate twist came. He threatened divorce, thinking it would scare me. But it didn't. In fact, I welcomed it. I told him that if that's what he wanted, then go ahead. Divorce me. The law is on my side, and I wasn't going to be held hostage in a marriage where I wasn't valued. His reaction? He broke down. He begged me to close the marriage, to come back to him. But I refused. I told him, you wanted this arrangement. I'm honoring it. I've moved on, and I am no longer the woman who clung to a man who didn't care for her. Now, as I live my life, enjoying the attention and affection I deserve, my husband sits in his misery. He's alone, bitter, and realizing too late that the women he tried to impress with money weren't the ones he truly wanted. Meanwhile, I'm thriving. This marriage is over, whether he likes it or not. It's not my fault that women don't want him. The truth hurts, but sometimes, it's a reality we have to face.